Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Largo. This is the Lair. That's the coffee troll. He's guarding my vintage Infinity Equation cup today. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. And apologies to those who showed up yesterday. That was my goof. When I put in the premiere, I accidentally put Sunday. I meant to put Monday. So thanks for showing up. And sorry about that. I'll try to do better in the future. And to keep me honest, I need my chaperone, my co-host, my good time buddy, Will.
Hey,
Will.
Jim. Hi, everyone.
Wow, what a weekend!
It really was. Really exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's hard to know where to start. Everything with VALA-FAIR was very well done. I loved all the presentations. I loved all the guests. And in celebration of that, as you guys know, we're here a week early. We normally do this every other Monday, but Will and I had an opportunity to go ahead and get all of this research done for Steel Brigade. And we said, let's do it, man. Let's go ahead and explore the lore a week early and jump on that VALA-FAIR hype train.
Absolutely.
So in honor of VALA-FAIR and everything that we saw, some of you have already seen the montage we put together. We'll roll it here just in case anybody missed anything. We'll play it here, and then we'll talk about it after. So we'll show a little montage of all the VALA-FAIR reveals, and then we'll jump into Steel Brigade, and then after we'll come back live and we can chat about whatever you guys want to within reason. No sea monkeys.
Montage. Let's do it.
That, my friend, that deserves a Ric Flair. Woo!
Absolutely, man. That was great. And I think, Jim, you put a poll up in the chat so people could vote on their favorite reveal.
I sure did. So, I just picked a couple of my favorites. There's more that I could list, but yeah, we'll see if you guys are interested in the same kind of stuff, or if you got something else, throw that in the chat. We'll check it out later. So, without further ado, we will go ahead and explore the lore of the Steel Brigade. This one was a lot of fun. They all are. I always say that because it's always true. Each time we delve into one of these characters, there's more than I expect. And even though these are a troop builder, there is a lot to them, as you will see. So let's get set up. We'll roll that pre-recorded footage, as you guys know, and we'll be in the chat, and then we'll go back live, and we'll hang out for a while. So,
all right.
See you soon. This is going to be. To help me tell that story, my buddy Will be joining us as usual.
Hey, Tim.
Hey Will.
Here we go
Good to see you,
again.
buddy. Here we go again. This
right.
is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So let's see what we have here.
Roll
with,
that
the
beautiful Steel Brigade footage.
Let's do it. So that is our quick look at Steel Brigade. And let's get into the weeds here and see what we're looking at. Again, most of this information comes from the combat profile on the back of the box for Steel Brigade. We're mostly going to be looking at the Series 1 release, but we'll also touch on some of the variants that have come out as well. So Steel Brigade is designated 0102 in the VALA-FAIR toy line. Codename Various. File name is classified. Primary MOS, of course, is Special Forces, and they have a laundry list of secondary skills. 5 Quebec, Pathfinder, Bravo 4 Sniper, 5 Whiskey, Military Freefall Jump Master, 2 Bravo, Air Assault. Of course, their birthplaces are various, and rank affiliation is various, but they are all associated with the Action Force. And we'll go into how they connect with the Action Force here in a minute. Anything else you want to comment on this at this point, Will?
No. It's pretty much. We're going to get into all of it. So yeah, I was just biding my time. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So there is the combat profile, as always. This is again the source of most of our information, as well as the mission files. And Will, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, sure. The Steel Brigade is the code name for the support squadron within Action Force and is comprised of 80 shooters trained as the unit's own QRF, or Quick Reaction Force.
And QRF is kind of interesting. If you haven't had any military experience, you may not know what a Quick Reaction Force is. So let's see what the military says it is. A quick reaction force in military science nomenclature. A quick reaction force, or QRF, is an armed military unit capable of rapidly responding to developing situations, typically to assist allied units in need of such assistance. They are to have equipment ready to respond to any type of emergency, typically within 10 minutes or less.
Wow.
But that is based on unit standard operating procedures, or SOPs. So these guys are Johnny on the spot. They are very specialized in how they're deployed, but they come with a full set of skills. So they complement Action Force missions as their QRF, as we see here.
And in the world the way it is, you could see where there's a great need for stuff popping up all over the place. There are uprisings, there's militias, vigilante groups. Then you've got New Colonia coming in. They've got to be ready to pretty much respond to and get into the action just about anywhere in the United States. So yeah,
right,
former United States, yeah,
right. It's it's interesting to see how that's going to develop. So let's talk about some MOSs and specialties that these guys have. So a 5 Quebec is a Pathfinder. Basically, this means somebody's gone through the United States Army Pathfinder School. The Pathfinder School trains personnel in the U.S. Army and its sister services to set up parachute drop zones and helicopter landing zones for airborne and air assault missions. And as you can see from the patch there, the Pathfinders live by the motto of first in, last out. And the torch is the symbol for those who've been through Pathfinder School.
They also penetrate deeper and last longer. Love
Amen. All right, so what do we got next? Now, this is a little bit more specialized. What they call the sniper tab is what you see there on the screen. And it is not an MOS, but it is a specialty. In the Army, they call this an ASI. And I'll let you run through this.
Yeah, sure. In the Army, ASI stands for Additional Skill Identifier. ASIs show additional skills, training, and qualifications a soldier may possess, in addition to his or her MOS. Bravo 4 is the ASI for a sniper qualified soldier. So then it also says the U.S. Army Sniper Course trains selected military members assigned to sniper positions in the skills necessary to deliver long-range precision fire and the collection of battlefield information. It's also noted that the first woman graduated from the U.S. Army's Elite Sniper School in 2021. That's pretty awesome.
It is, and that definitely lets us know from real-world experience that female Steel Brigade can be snipers. They can certainly be qualified as such. And I don't believe every single member of the brigade has this designation, but many do. And so as you build your custom dossier for your Steel Brigade, you specialties they have. But this is one that would definitely be a common one for those who qualify to become Steel Brigade.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And another specialty, and I believe this one does, all Steel Brigade have this designation. This is 5 Whiskey, the Military Free Fall Jump Master. And if you look at the patch there, there is a star and a laurel wreath around the top of that. A standard jump qualified parachutist would just have the wings and the sword. The star designates that you are a master. So to earn the Master Military Freefall Parachutist Badge, the military member first must receive all necessary ground training, already have earned the Military Parachutist Badge to be jump qualified, and must have completed the requisite freefall jumps for night, combat equipment, and oxygen, and graduate from the Military Freefall Parachutist course. So it is it is not an easy thing to acquire. I mean, this is it's beyond just being airborne. I mean, if you're jump qualified, that's great, but these guys go beyond and know how to jump at night. They know how to jump from high altitude, low opening. They know how to jump fully loaded to bear with all kinds of equipment. And I find it interesting, if you look at the design of his helmet, what is that reminiscent of?
Yeah, certainly does
Kind of
look
looks
like.
like a, yeah. So I think we can see here from the oxygen mask and goggles, that's probably where we find the inspiration for the Steel Brigade helm that they're using in VALA-FAIR, which would make sense. I mean, there's probably some specialty gear inside that helmet, maybe a heads-up display, things like that. If they're doing an opening that requires oxygen, they just have to strap on a tank and plug it into the helmet. So yep, they're good to go, and they definitely are geared towards jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft.
Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah.
So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Hailing back to the days in Vietnam of the Mike Force, the Steel Brigade is the only unit of its kind capable of providing an armed support element to the primary assault force during a mission. So, what is Mike Force? I'll let you run through that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Mike Force, the Mobile Strike Force Command, or Mike Force, was a key component of United States Army Special Forces in the Vietnam War. They served with indigenous soldiers selected and trained through the largely minority civilian irregular defense group, CIDG. Whew, that's a mouthful, right? And were led by American Special Forces and Australian Army Training Team Vietnam AATTV personnel.
Yeah, so my father served in Vietnam, but he was mostly assigned with the Marines because he was a Navy corpsman. I didn't know much about Mike Force.
No.
I'd heard of Tiger Force. I mean, a lot of people have heard that banded about, but these guys were hardcore. And I found it interesting that they worked with the Australians as well as, you know, the local soldiers that they were training. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And as we see from what their specialty is, we'll understand better why Bobby chose them as the predecessor for Steel Brigade. So Mike Force was established in summer of 1965 to react to emergency combat situations at Special Forces camps in the Western Highlands. And this is specifically about the Vietnam conflict. The first such force was named for Special Forces Lieutenant Colonel Miguel de la Peña. And there's a picture of the Lieutenant Colonel. And the patch is the patch that was used for the first unit. And that is the Mike Force patch that we'll see in some other imagery. Nice. So pretty interesting. I mean, really these were, you know, we've seen a lot of movies, you know, like the John Wayne Green Beret and other things that have been done talking about this era of military heroes. These guys were no joke. They were hardcore and very interesting. I would highly recommend anybody go to the Special Operations Command History Office where I did, and they have all this information for free on their website. It's a fascinating read what these guys have been involved in.
All right. Mike Force's mission was intended as multi-purpose reaction units and to act as countrywide quick reaction force for securing, reinforcing, and recapturing CIDG-A camps, as well as to conduct raids and special reconnaissance patrols. And here we have pictured James C. Jetstream Skeeter Cooper, one of the Mike Force Company commanders at Duklop, I guess, Vietnam War.
Yeah, I had to include that because I just saw that picture. I'm like, that dude's a badass. I gotta
yeah,
give him
absolutely.
Jetstream Skeeter. What a call sign.
Fantastic.
He's just, I mean, just that look. It's like this guy, he's like, yeah, I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick some ass. I'm all out of bubble gum.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, their mission, as you can see, they were a quick reaction force, and there were several Mike forces. It wasn't just
Hmm.
one group, and they were deployed in different theaters of operation. Mike forces also conducted operations gathering intelligence, disrupting and or eradicating VC and VA activities in remote areas, search and destroy missions, and bomb damage assessments, also known as BDA. And here we see a couple more examples of unit patches that
Yep.
were Mike forces, different groups, and a couple of images of some of the real guys who were in the Mike force. And you'll notice on the top one there, he is wearing the original patch. But these guys would slog in the thick of it, and wherever they were needed, that there's some very dangerous and critical missions that they would do. All right, so
Yep. It says Mike forces were specifically designed for employment under short reaction time conditions and short duration missions, not prolonged combat engagements. They get in, get the job done, and get out of there and get on to the next mission.
right, and that's exactly what we see in Steel Brigade as well.
I was going to say that because I think there was even a line in one of the panels of the Action Force Mission Files comic where someone says like, "Hey, we're going to do this. You want to come?" And they say, "Nope, we had our orders. We came. We did our job. We're pulling out. We're going to get on to the next thing." And they've got their they've got their orders, so they don't stick around and go on these adventures or figure stuff out. They come in, they kick ass, they get out, and
Right.
they get the job done. So
Yeah, and that makes more sense. Looking at that and understanding what Mike Force was and how that shows the standard operating procedures for Steel Brigade, it makes a lot of sense.
I'll just say, I mean, Jim, thank you for looking up that because it makes me really look at even like Steel Brigade, knowing that somewhere down the line the predecessor to them were Mike Force, and where they come from. Definitely, as you look at that figure, as you're planning your adventure in your mind, there makes you look at them with much more respect, and other than just a standard troop or support troop, they're badasses unto themselves,
Yeah, and obviously it's a cool figure. I really love the design, but now the helmet makes more sense. There's a specific purpose why they have that type of a design, and there's a reason why they are separate but equal to Action Force. They support Action Force when there's a mission, and they have a very specific role within what Action Force is doing in the republics and New Colonia or wherever they happen to be deployed. So I've lost track. I think it's my turn.
Sure.
All right. Each shooter is highly trained in small arms and small team tactics. Like the members of Action Force, the Steel Brigade shooters must also pass their own selection course, as well as mission-specific training in close quarters battle and hostage rescue.
They are experts at airborne and air assault operations, with many of their members being veterans of both the 82nd and 101 or 101st Airborne Divisions.
Mm-hmm. So just for reference, I put the patches for each of those units. This is something I wasn't aware of. The double A's for the 82nd Airborne on their patch literally stands for All American.
Yeah.
And I believe that hails back to World War II. Mm-hmm. And the 101st are known as the Screaming Eagles, and they are a light infantry division of the United States Army that specializes in air assault operations. So it makes sense that anyone who has been part of these groups would also qualify to become Steel Brigade.
Yeah, so no matter the mission, when Action Force goes wheels up, the men and women of the Steel Brigade stand ready to drop on target, defend the force, and destroy their enemies at all cost.
Yeah, so they have we're going to see that in just a second. they have a very specific mission profile, and it's very neat to see how that goes into play. And the first place we really get a great example of what it's like for a day in the life of a Steel Brigade soldier. A Day's Work is the title of the story in Mission Files 3. It was written by Bill Nedrow and Bobby Vala, and art by the great Alex Sanchez of Infinity Equation fame and other places. Colors by Jay Brown, and lettering by Andrew Kramer. So the Mission File 3 was actually a two-parter. It starts with the Steel Brigade story, and then there's also an Eclipse story, which we'll go into later when we profile her. But for today, we'll look at this one. In this particular episode, we're introduced to a Steel Brigade squad. I'm not sure what their designation is, what squad number, but this gives you an idea of a general assembly of how a squad is put together. This particular squad has 6 members, and they're listed with Harrier being their leader. As you see, he's got a gold helmet under his arm. Blackjack, Ferret, Kicker, Bailout, and Sundance are the members of this particular team. So just to put a human face under the helmet.
Yep.
And I don't know if these are some... Right. I don't know if this is just some particular favorites of Bobby's, if this particular team is going to pop up somewhere else, maybe in the film. We'll see. But definitely gives you some ideas for when you're customizing, looking for some heads, or head hunting, as I call it. I'm always looking for heads for doing customs.
Sure.
And there's a few that work pretty well with the Steel Brigade bodies. So here again, some examples of some great Alex Sanchez art, and just a typical mission for Steel Brigade.
Yeah, this was a hostage rescue. Yeah,
right, and you can see there at the bottom. Yeah, they've rescued the hostage. They take heavy fire from some swarm, and come out of it ready to go to the next part of the mission. Yeah, we didn't want to go over the entire comic. You guys should read it for yourself. Yeah. This is available on Comixology and Amazon Kindle. So if you can't get a physical copy of the book, if they're sold out, digital is always available. Highly, highly recommend that you read this.
Absolutely. And the one great thing too is you've got the Swarm, which we haven't done our episode on the Swarm yet. So, but they are what seems like highly technologically advanced fighters, and some describing them as having extra, ordinary abilities, or, they're tech enhancing them, such. Steel Brigade goes right up against them. They give no shits. They go right up against them. They're not intimidated by the Swarm and their high tech. So these guys
the brigade, they're no slouches with gear either. I would assume that whatever they have for their heads-up displays, those helmets, they always get the best weaponry. They get the best aircraft they can get a hold of. They're definitely equal to what the Swarm is putting out.
Yeah,
and as we saw in that story, there are some variants, and the first one that we notice is the gold helmet. We saw that first in the Kickstarter for the figures, and Bobby was gracious enough to put those back out for the special deployment series for guys like me who missed the Kickstarter. So the gold helmet designates command, in this case, command over a squad. I'm not sure exactly how all of the structure is broken down, but we know that they break down to squads and fire teams. And for each squad, there'll be at least one gold helmet command. Also, females. We now have a female figure to represent the female members of the Steel Brigade, and they serve in equal capacity with their male counterparts. As long as they can qualify, they can do the job, and that includes command positions, because we also have a gold helm for the female.
Yeah, I love that.
And the only other variants that we know of at this point are the Night Ops and the Special and/or Heavy Weapons Steel Brigade, designated by their helmet colors and uniforms. More to come, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
that's a
one's just the one that does it for me, man. Those colors pop. I love it. It's my absolute
oh
favorite.
yeah. I'm definitely digging the black and gray with the military green. It's a nice
Yeah.
look. But that special weapon helmet, I've got some ideas. I could definitely
Okay.
see those being designated for whether or not I continue to use that the heavy chest armor that's got the explosive rounds on it. It looks good with just the standard Steel Brigade as well. So I'm thinking guys that are going to be carrying the heavy weapons might wear that particular vest, and guys who are doing special weapons will be doing just the standard fare with the helmet designator. So
Yep.
that's my head canon. Your mileage will vary. So that's the Steel Brigade, folks.
That's excellent.
I think,
All right.
yeah,
And
I'm pleasantly
yeah.
surprised. I when we first started this, you and I talked. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
they're not an individual, and do we really have enough here to do a whole episode on Steel Brigade? And it's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
we
And like I
start.
said, the thing I like about them is when they appear, it is just like their kind of MOS. Like, so in the stories that I've read about them, it's always like that moment where they drop right in and kind of clean up. They save the day in a lot of cases. So you see that
Right.
in some of
Yeah,
the
we
stories.
see in
Too.
right in the mission file 3, we also see them bail out Condor when his group gets pinned
Mhm.
down. It's the Steel Brigade that comes in to swat the swarm that is
Yeah.
menacing Condor and his buddies, and then they go on to do the deal with the hostage situation. They do a couple other things in that mission, and they just go. And another neat thing about this particular episode is there's a mission clock, so you can literally see, as they're going through the mission, these guys just they go hard and they
Yeah.
go fast.
There's
Like
also a really great moment right at the end where I think they're ending their 18 hours of out there dropping in, kicking butt, and someone mentions that another team is pinned down somewhere, and they just say, "Well, good thing we're still suited up," and someone's like, "You're really going to go back out there?" And they say, "Well, we're not coming back until all of
everybody's home.
everyone's home." So, yeah, real heroes. I love the fact that, like I said, you know, you can make your own profile for a Steel Brigade trooper with the toy line. That's really great. So, your imagination's kind of the only limit there. But they also have a really strong pedigree going back to the Mike Force and everything. So, like I said, you don't look at it just as a troop builder type of thing. They're not just a nameless, faceless soldier. These each one in their very own is a hero unto themselves. So that's
Yep.
really cool.
And just like with the Steel Brigade of yesteryear that they're inspired by, anybody can be under that helmet, even you.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right. Well, that was
So
awesome. We don't have, obviously, we're not going to do a casting call for Steel Brigade because anyone can be into those helmets. And I think we do have another Merc we're going to name this episode too, right? So but we'll check in
right,
with the live guys and do that.
yeah.
All right.
So thanks for exploring the lore of Steel Brigade with us, and we'll go check out what's going on in the live stream and see if you guys have some questions or comments. See you, Will, on the other
See
side.
you on the side. Yep. All right. Hey.
Wow. We made it through.
Yeah, that was a great discussion. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the wonderful research you did there, Jim, and putting the slides together. So I learned a lot. I hope you all learned a lot as well. Makes me look at Steel Brigade in a new light. It really did shine a light on how important they are to Action Force and the story. So I really enjoyed it.
It definitely gives me a lot. I already had good respect for the Duke of the Valaverse, Bobby Vala, but knowing that he did the research and he looked at some of these guys from previous conflicts and wars and said, how can we honor people like Mike Force and actually put that into the lore? That's awesome, man. That's deserving of some kudos, definitely. So there is depth as we keep proclaiming every week. There's a lot going on here, and we've just scratched the surface, guys. When we start getting into Bill Medrow's novel, oh boy,
Oh
it
man,
gets it gets good. So
there
we'll
it is right
probably
there.
save that. We'll probably start delving into the novel when we get closer to Joe Fest, Valacon.
Yeah.
Um, but we talked about a little customizing. So my camera's a little fuzzy, but I'll show you some guys. I opt to use weapons from a lot of the weapons packs just because I like the colors better. I'm loving the backpack gear packs for the colors that they come with. They look great on the original Steel Brigades and also for the Night Ops. This head is just an easy head swap. This is a Michael Fassbender from the Marvel Legends from his X-Men Magneto run in the
Very
film.
cool.
It's the film MCU heads seem to work better because they're obviously more realistic and give a nice look for Valaverse. If you want to have a head under your helm, that's one I recommend. We got a lot of ladies now, and this one's kind of my favorite so far. I haven't given her a code name. We might put her with our Merc type contest, but this is another Marvel Legends head. Works great on the Valaverse body. I do recommend putting a little sticky tack just to keep it where you want it, because some of them, the Marvel Legends heads aren't exact matches for the neck posts, but they definitely work and they scale well.
Yeah, it looks
Um,
great.
so that I believe is the Emma Frost from one of theirs. This is the live action Elektra from the excellent Netflix
Nice,
Daredevil, and
nice.
she is my lady squad commander because she's just a bad mamma jamma, and I'm liking that, especially the ponytail. That says I'm ready to do some business, and I've given her the sniper rifle. So if you pick up some weapons packs, you pick up a couple backpacks, you can customize and tweak the backpack, or the side satchels also look really nice on these guys and fit roll with the armor. So if you have some of those old packs around, utilize them with your Steel Brigade, you can come up with some cool, neat stuff. This is a Steve Rogers head from a Gamerverse figure.
Yeah,
Doesn't really look like my idea of Steve Rogers, but he makes a
yeah,
pretty good Steel Brigade. So
absolutely. Yeah, that looks great. The
yeah, just
possibilities are endless.
absolutely. And just to give you guys a look at the new gold helm, this comes from
Nice.
um, s- uh, the special deployment series version. So it's slightly different from the Kickstarter, but it's really nice that Bobby has added those. And these guys are selling out fast. They're already sold out on the Valaverse website. They're sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. But there are a few other guys that have them out there. If you want them, now's the time to pick them up because I'm not sure when they will be reissued again. So it's just something to be thoughtful of. Same goes for the Night Ops guys. And thanks to
Cool.
Wilhelm for this. Wilhelm found this old Wildcats motorcycle,
Well,
and
nice.
it actually works pretty well. It's not perfect, but if you want kind of a futuristic Zoomer doozy for your night ops guys to go on patrol,
Yeah,
they're inexpensive and they are available out there. So I haven't customized this one yet, but it's on my to do list. I'm having fun with that.
yeah.
And
I like what you did there.
thanks. Oh, that one other thing. You guys probably already know this, but there are little hair ties or little rubber bands that you can get in the girly section, and they work great for slinging weapons on the backs of backpacks. So it's just an easy fix without having to do any kind of permanent attachment. So
Yep.
always looking
Well,
for
I'll
the
tell you, Jim, based on the chat, we've got a lot of Swarm fans in the chat. So I know Bjorn's been waving that Swarm flag ever since we started. He loves them. So we're really going to have to bring it for the Swarm episode.
I think we have something put together for that. And yeah, let me see if I have that teaser in here. Mm, I do. Should we run it? We can
Yeah.
run it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting episode, and I can't wait.
Swarm is coming. Beware the swarm. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with the swarm. I think our next is going to be well. We'll talk about the next one soon. So, but speaking about customizing and other such things, I'm just looking at the chat here, see if we're caught up. Yeah, thanks, Goji. I forgot to turn off the pre-recorded. We're live again, kind of, sort of. Maybe I might be somewhere else right now having a margarita. But yeah, Eldor has seen the light. I think maybe we've got a Action Force convertee here. They're fun. They're a lot of fun. I know you're more into the fantasy realm, but these are the best for military action figures in the 6-inch scale, in my opinion. And Douglas Butler, the Swarm figure got me into action. Yeah, it's a great design. It's just cool. I mean, I can definitely see if that's your first one, it can definitely be the one to pull you in. And thank you, Bjorn. He's put the link for Bill Nedro's hardcover novel.
My God.
Available over at Amazon right now, and it is good. It is so good. Can't tell you
Really
guys how good it is yet, but we'll do a book report. We'll get there. It's too much material, man. We gotta try to get everything done, and we've got Joe Fest coming up. I'm sorry, VALA-Con. And two of our intrepid explorers are going to be there. Wilhelm and Bjorn will be there together.
That's right.
And
I will be joined by the Majestic One.
That'll be awesome. So I'm sending all my action points to my buddies, and hopefully they can find out what this mystery figure is going to be and pick one up for me, because it's good to have friends in high places. Speaking of friends in high places, shout out to Bobby Vala and Ryan Laserpants and Tony Roberts for giving us a shout out on their show. And
that was really exciting. That was great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we're very honored that you guys think what we're doing has some merit, because we're having fun with it, and we want to be sure that we are respectful to the brand, and just showing that there's a lot here, guys, and just spreading the love. So, speaking of love, I love customs, and I think maybe we should explore what we've got in the way of a new spare parts Merc. What do you think?
Yeah, that's great, guys. The spare parts Merc for our previous episode was really great. Thank you everyone that suggested a name, and to everyone that voted last week. So we proudly present that we welcome to the Spare Parts Mercenary Company Raptor, and that's not.
I've got him up here. Yeah, he's up here hanging out with the coffee troll today, and proud to have a code name. So Raptor it is.
And Jim's
You
been
got
busy. He's got a lot of spare parts mercs, and I think he has another one. And I got to just say, this one really, I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see what names you guys come up with.
so let's let's play. So there we go, guys. Name that
Nice.
Merc. So you've seen the Raptor, and if I can find the right button here, we'll take a look at our next spare parts mercenary. The veteran is coming. So there he is. And he stole that Steel Brigade bike. Man, what an outlaw. So he is like all the spare parts guys, he is literally made from some spare parts. He's sporting the old man Hawkeye head. If I can find my camera here. There you are. I'll pop up real big here for a second. Yeah, there we go. So he's sporting the old man Hawkeye head, and it just works great on the Valaverse Karak torso. And he's got a vest that we came from a Mattel figure. He's sporting a Crimson Shadow Arsenal 10 shotgun, his boomstick. He's got a Bone Collector sidearm. I think that's the Deagle, the Desert Eagle. And thanks to Duster being on a great sale, a lot of my guys are using some Duster parts, especially those really cool pants. So this is the Hunter, you guys. Let's see what you guys can come up with, and we'll figure out what his
Yeah.
code name is.
And
So
importantly, don't put it in the live chat, guys. After the stream, if you could put your suggestions in the comment section below, we'll pick from those and we'll put a vote up on our next episode, and you get to name them. So thank you to everyone that participated in the past, and we look forward to seeing what great suggestions you guys come up with on this guy. I love
yeah,
it.
we're having fun with it so far, and it'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with. So we've got plenty of spare parts mercs to come, so you guys keep those code names ready. Let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Danny Langolis, I hope I pronounced that. Praetorian and Vanguard are a tie. Yeah. They are there isn't a bad pick. Everything is so good. Let me pull up our poll, and I'll go ahead and close it out. I think everybody's had a chance to vote, and we'll see what everybody's loving here. It looks like the Praetorian is a clear winner in this poll, even though I spelled it wrong. Apologies. It's supposed to be an A in there, but yeah, it's the Praetorian, the Warrior or Warpath Eclipse is definitely a high one. The Vanguard and Gemini. Those were my top four for the night. But man, everything was good. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out in this spring line, as well as hints of what we've seen for 2024 to come. I don't know if Bobby ever sleeps. The man is just working like crazy.
Seriously, I mean that's a lot of stuff coming this year, and those are not the only reveals to be had this year. So we're going to see even more reveals at Joe Fest, and these are just the things coming in the in the spring.
That's
Purely.
right. And don't forget your customized Mr. Potato Head when you go and see Laser Pants. He'll sign it for you.
and and Danny Langloy is how it's
Langloy.
pronounced. Well,
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for stopping in and watching. And yeah, that's great. Um,
The Praetorian is definitely probably my favorite because it's got a little Cylon Raider in there. It's definitely harkens to some other. Yeah, I'm a robot guy. I love robots, and it's a sweet design. It looks a little. It's got hints of things from other things we've seen. Video game lines and other military type toys. Maybe even a little Terminator DNA in there. Maybe Skynet's calling, but you know having that as the Crimson Shadows muscle is going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to adding some of those guys to the collection. So,
yeah, yeah. They look amazing, and once again, it harkens back to cool things that we love, but makes them kind of new and original in their own way. So I really like it. I'm really curious as to Crimson Shadows as an organization and what exact role they're going to play. So this teases something, but we haven't seen these in action yet. So I'm really, really looking forward to that reveal.
yeah, in the mission files, there's very few hints as to what Crimson Shadow Technologies is really up to. So, hopefully that'll be explored. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of that when we get to the feature film. Between here and there, who knows? So we'll all be speculating together. And yes,
Yeah.
Bill, we are live at the moment.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good point. Gojitron says upsize that Praetorian and you could have a Jaeger. That would be a
Sure.
nice specific rim. Well, even you just get some of those little, was it 1/64th scale or whatever, those building models, and get you a kaiju or two and have at. It could be fun. Definitely, you can find a place for these guys to fit, even if you're not a hardcore Action Force collector. They'll fit in somewhere in your line.
Yeah.
Yep. Praetorian versus train set. I'm voting Praetorian. Probably win. Ooh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the Swarm answers to the Praetorians if they have to come up against them. Maybe we'll see a Swarm variant that's a little beefed up to try to combat those. Who knows? They may be allies. We don't really know yet.
No, we
All
don't.
we
And
One thing that Bobby did mention is that the Swarm gear, their flight packs, their high tech, a lot of that was designed by Crimson Shadow Technologies. So they are a customer, but that doesn't mean they're always in agreement.
no, not at all. And we can't just glance over the Vanguard. Obviously, it's a
Oh
vehicle. It's the first Action Force vehicle. It's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to that, and really hoping the price comes in at a reasonable amount there. So that's going to be a huge item. So
yeah, literally huge. I'm going to need another shelf, but it's going to be worth it. I'm looking to see who can get put into storage to make room for that giant tank. Oh,
yep.
gotta rotate. Gotta
And
rotate
I
the
gotta
display.
just mention, it's not my absolute favorite, but that Stan Solo Creations 3 3/4 inch 5 POA Desert Rat is just really neat. I really like it, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to picking that one up too. So
I have one original Action Force. I have the SAS Commando, and I have him on card. And
yeah, they're
man,
beautiful. I love all of those original Palatoy Action Force toys. They're just great.
yeah, really great and so cool. The designs, Bob Breakin and his team did a great job and inspired all the stuff that's come after. So we're really we're we're living in a good time, man. We're getting all kinds of great stuff right now. So interesting to see what's going to be coming in the future. And let's see. Oh, we got a one idea here for
Yeah,
our Merc. We'll put that in the list. But yeah, if you guys can put them in the comments later, that'll help for us to catch them.
yeah.
But
Thanks, be
yeah,
cool. Appreciate you.
yeah. Bjorn says I'm going to have to get some of those desert troopers. Oh yeah, for the desert rat squad. Yep, he's got some regular troops that are going to be in his same colors coming in. That'll be awesome. So looking forward to that.
Good,
And
good, good.
oh yeah, being a big Stan Solo fan, I'm picking up the 5 POA figure. Absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean it's
they're
a
great.
double whammy. I mean it's Tony. We love Tony. We've already got the Desert Rat, and now to have one that is in that Palatoy style, man, that's going to be cool. So I'm looking forward to that too. So it's man, it's
That's
been a
pretty good.
long weekend, and
Yeah,
pulled it right into Monday, and uh, still processing all this stuff. There's
I
a lot
know.
going on,
I know. It's a
but
lot.
I'm glad everybody showed up. We're almost at an hour today, and
Awesome
we will.
comments, everyone in the comment section. Great comments. I really appreciate that. Keeping the conversation going and sharing your thoughts and your love for the lore. Thank you so much for participating in the Name That Merc. And I haven't heard much feedback on the casting call stuff. So if you've watched the previous episodes, I'd love to see comments on that because we're going to keep doing that. And like I said, it depends on what conversations it generates, whether we continue to do that. But I'd like to see how that goes. But I think
Yeah,
Jim, we should show them what we have in store for them next episode.
sure. Let's check it out. So there you go, guys. We'll be doing Bone Collector next episode. So that'll be not this next Monday, but the Monday after. And then after that will be Swarm. So those will be the next two in the lineup. And oh, Bone Collector. What a what an interesting character.
He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Danny, Bobby should make a black and red Steel Brigade trooper, kind of like a brainwashed member that works for Crimson Shadows now.
That'll
Interesting.
be
I
fun.
like that. I like the black and red, color scheme. I really
It's
do.
a nice look. And if
Yep.
he doesn't, man, there's a great idea for a custom.
Excellent. All right. Well, if anyone had any other questions, definitely would
Um,
love to.
yeah, Bjorn, good catch. There has been an update to the Bone Collector's name in Bill Nedro's novel. We did not put the new name in on this recording because we haven't gotten into the novel yet for what we're doing. So we're going to put it as it
Yeah.
was in the original on the box and everything. When we get into the novel, we'll address the name changes and any adjustments to the lore because the canon is still evolving. But yeah, we wanted to show where it started and where we're going. So thanks for mentioning that. We'll definitely we will address it when we get to the novel. So yeah, thanks everybody. I think we've pretty
Yeah.
much covered what we want to do for today. And just a shameless plug: instead of AF3 next week, we're going to be doing a new show. I had the pleasure to sit down with our friend Gojitron and Grindhead Jim, and we're going to be exploring the world of kaiju in a new show called Beasties and Baddies. So check that out. Be the same time, same channel. Just I'll try to get the time right on this one. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see that show. So tune in, folks, and I can't wait to see you all on the next episode of AF3. Thank you, Jim.
yep.
Thank you, everyone in
Thank
chat.
you.
You have a great night.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.